a really, really important decision. This is actually the single biggest thing, like the single biggest choice and just general decision I've ever made since I first bought this car. And that decision is that I am going to rip the old engine off, throw it away. Well, not throw it away in terms of put it in the bin, but I'm going to temporarily discard of it, and I'm going to purchase a brand new engine from factory for a small fortune. These things aren't cheap. But the sheer amount of benefits I'm going to get from this is going to be insane. Like, honestly, if any of you don't know, in case you're new to the channel or something like that, I have a Tony kart. It's a 2014 Krypton chassis. It's a 32mm chassis, and it is running the outdated Rotax engine. It's a Rotax Max non-Evo. It's a senior engine. It's got 125 cc's, and without the restrictor plate, it's about 32 horsepower. With, it's about 28. So that's the old engine, and I have been running with that for a while, but I just can't go faster anymore. Seriously, I've reached a point where my lap times are so close to race pace that the only thing stopping me at this point, really, is getting this engine upgrade. I just have no choice. I have to do it at some point, because also, the other thing I found out, I can't even race the engine. The engine's so outdated, it's older than me. Yeah, I'm a 2000s kid, and that engine's older than me. Like, I'm an adult. I'm turning 20 next year. That engine's older than me. Whew. That is an old engine, and it's still kicking. It's still running beautifully, but it's just too old to be raced. It's not raceworthy. I just bumped the table. My apologies. It's not raceworthy anymore. And so I can't, as raceworthy suggests, I can't race it anymore. I've actually wouldn't have been able to race it for quite a while. This is like old news at this point. So I unfortunately have no choice but to unfortunately take the engine off, the one I have now, the one I've been running for over a year now, and I've had so much success with it, and I've done so many good, like I've changed so many things on it. We've made great memories with that engine, messing around with it, my dad and I. But it's time that we have to move on from the great times that we had with that engine, how insanely bulletproof that engine is, and we're just going to have to put a new engine in. It's a completely updated, refurbished, it's brand new. It's a Rotax Max Evo, the updated one, brand new, straight from the factory, 0 kilometers on it, and it's going to just give an insane power boost, just insane. People have been hyping it up constantly, and I'm just like, okay, I'm expecting my kart to be like a UFO when I put this thing in. And they're like, yeah, really, it's not far off. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited for it, and I cannot wait. But it is a very, very, very complicated process, and it's not just something that you can just do. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to rip the engine out and put a new one in and call it a day. That's it. We're done. Off to the track. No, it's significantly more complicated than that. So I have literally spent an entire day already just taking... In fact, I have spent, to be completely honest with you, I've spent 2 days on this. I've really only spent 1 day to take the engine off, but I spent a whole nother day prepping to get it off, undoing little electrical circuits, disconnecting the battery, doing all these little things. There's so many little things that can stop you from taking the engine out. And I spent a whole day doing that. And then I spent, that was yesterday, now I spent the whole of today taking the engine out, which is also not a super easy thing to do. You got to loosen mounts, and you got to disconnect fuel lines, and your fuel goes everywhere, which is not particularly environmentally friendly unless you have a solution for it, which I did. But if you don't, if you don't think before you do it, and you're just like, oh, I just disconnect the fuel line, and then fuel goes everywhere, then what? It's especially if you're doing it in your driveway, or you're doing it in if you have a front lawn, if you're doing it in your grass, it's not really very good. It's not good for it whatsoever. But yeah, that's just one part of it. Seriously, that's just one part of this. There's all sorts of other parts. You got to loosen the mounts, then you actually got to take apart the carburetor. Not much. You really only have to do like very surface level stuff, but you still got to do it. You still got to take out parts of the carburetor in order to get the engine off. Once you've loosened the mounts, disconnected all the electrical components, removed several of those disconnected electrical components, and disconnected part of the fuel line system. All those things just to take a single 25 kilo block of metal off your car. It's so much work. It's unbelievable. So, the other important distinction that needs to be made is that there are several different things. I've been talking about this for quite a while, but there are several things that are different between the Evo version of the engine, the one that I'm getting installed now, and the non-Evo version. There are actually quite a few different things between these engines that are pretty much completely different. And with the engine that I actually had an Evo component, which was the carburetor, and I bought the kart like that. I didn't mod that myself. That was bought like that. And so there are some things like even the non-Evo carburetor, I can't tell you what that looks like because I have no idea. I've never seen it before. But there are so many other things, and I'll only talk about the main ones in this video because I don't want it to be extremely long. But there are like a fair few things between these two engines that are completely different. For example, the easiest and fastest way you can tell, like a snap of your finger, blink of your eye, the fastest thing that you can do, or you can see to tell which is that the non-Evo will have a silver top on the engine, and that a Evo version will have a red top on the engine. I think it's like the cylinder head or something like that. It's the head of the engine. I don't really know the difference on karts, two strokes and that. I'm really not well versed compared to some of my knowledge with cars is definitely more than my knowledge with karts, despite me working on this kart almost non-stop for over a year. That's only a year, whereas I've accumulated knowledge sort of passively about cars for pretty much my entire life. So yeah, I'm still a little bit in the dark about some things, but in general, I still think I've certainly learnt a lot. But essentially the short version is that silver is for the non-Evo, and the red top is for the Evo. Now, then there's also other things, like I said, things that I don't know, which is, for example, the carburetor. The carburetors look different between versions. That's all I can tell you, because that's what I've been told. I got no idea what the non-Evo version looks like, because I've never seen it. It's not on my kart. I didn't buy it with it on. It was never there to begin with. So I have no idea what it looks like. And yeah, I could Google it, but no one really knows anything about the non-Evos anymore. They've just been left in the dust, because I've been trying to do that for like 6 months straight, and really haven't really found anything. So there's really not much to do with the non-Evo that's still available, like easily accessible, because I couldn't find it. I was struggling to find stuff. Maybe I wasn't searching the right places, maybe I wasn't giving the internet the right prompts, I don't know, but Dr. Google knows everything, as they say, and it really didn't tell me anything. So I'm led to believe basically no one knows anything about the engine. But those are two differences. So the different color of the top of the engine and the carburetor looks different between versions. But there's also other things as well. For example, there's things like the airbox, I believe, is also different as well. I haven't seen what the non-Evo looks like, but the one that I have, I'm pretty sure, I may be getting this wrong, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I've been told in the past that the airbox I have is for an Evo engine. So they look different, apparently. I've never seen the non-Evo one, but I'm pretty sure that was what I was told, so there's different versions of that, I guess. I've never seen the old one, I've only ever seen the new one, so I couldn't tell you what it looks like, but apparently that is also different as well. The other dead giveaway is the exhaust system. The exhaust system also looks different. I am getting the engine installed right now. I have no idea what the exhaust is going to look like, but I have been told that it is different. How different? I don't know. So different that you have to take it off with the rest of the non-Evo engine so that when they put the Evo one in, they can install this new exhaust that fits with that engine. So maybe cosmetically it looks exactly the same, maybe, but on the inside it's pretty much completely different. Also, I think it uses a different size restrictor plate as well. I couldn't tell you the exact measurements off the top of my head, but I do have them written down somewhere. I don't have them with me here, so I couldn't possibly tell you, but they are different sizes. And there's a whole bunch of other things as well, but that's just really scratching the surface. So, essentially, just as a recap, I am making one of the biggest decisions I've ever made when it comes to my go-kart and the future, which is me getting this updated engine, because I wanted to sort of stick with this old engine for as long as I could, but it's just not working anymore. The engine's fine. I'm not saying the engine's not working. It's fine. The issue is my lap times, my pace, keeping up with the rest of the pack. It's just not cutting it anymore. The engine I have now just isn't strong enough to do that. It's too old. It's outdated. The newer ones are more powerful. This is like a McQueen situation from Cars 3. This is exactly what that's like. He's fading. My engine's fading, and he's fading fast. And it's really painful for me to say that because I love that engine. And I'm definitely going to be keeping it because apparently it's borderline vintage. It's like a 2001 non-Evo engine. Apparently it's almost vintage, like 5 years from now it will be considered a vintage engine. So I am definitely not going to be throwing it away. I will be keeping it as like a souvenir, an antique. Maybe if I buy another kart for some reason, maybe I'll take the Evo engine, like maybe the kart I have now, somehow, some way, something happens to it and it's gone, it's written off. Then I'll get the engine, the Evo engine, and put it in the new kart, and then I'll chuck the non-Evo back on Tony. Why not? I thought it'd be a blast. Why not? Put the engine back on, learn how to do that, because I don't know how to do it, and I want to be back out on track this week, and so I don't really have time to do the engine myself in order to do that. So I'm getting the pros to do that for me, because I also just have no idea what to do. Like, I know how to take off a non-Evo engine. That's the best thing I can tell you. I don't know how to put it back on. I guess you just do the reverse. So I technically do know. I've just never done it before. But I have no idea about the Evo version. Like I've said in previous videos, before this was even a thing, I got basically no idea about that engine except what the carburetor looks like and what the airbox looks like and the top of the engine being red. Those three things are basically all I knew prior to me making this video, whereas now I know a lot more, and when I get the engine installed and actually start working with it, I'm going to be learning way more. So yeah, that's my update. I'm getting a new engine, and it's the pretty much widely regarded as one of the best engines in my category, which is touch and go 125cc restricted. I do want to be unrestricted at some point, but for now, as the rules say, I need to be restricted. Final summary is I'm getting a new engine, and I can't wait to work with it and see how much time I save versus the old engine. So right now I'm hitting consistent 46s, and I have hit a 45.7. So what I'm excited to see is how much time I save getting onto the brand new engine, which is updated. So yeah, that's really about it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody.